Hey, and we are the Coalition Loud and Proud, civilly disobedient media. We are here at Jenks Junior High. Well, it's been a long night, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours now. Tonight for the Pawtucket School District, they selected, I'm going to let the school, if you will, Chairman Jay Charbonneau explain what happened, but I'm just going to make this editorial comment. There, with all of them competing in one room, all that was missing, what's that guy's name, Simon Cowell from, or the Iron Chef or something, all of the vendors, if you will, in one room competing for a same night decision. Chairman, again, thank you for joining us tonight. Explain to us what happened.
Yeah, so we went through interviews for the construction management at risk services for the Unified High School. Essentially, what we're hiring is a general contractor, if you will. I mean, obviously a project the size and scope of this high school, there's multiple layers of protection we build in there. One, to make sure the building gets built correctly, obviously. And certainly this committee, prioritizes taxpayer safeguards. And so we build in these layers of management, of construction management services to get the project built and protect the taxpayer. We awarded that bid tonight. We had 4, I think, just terrific firms present. Those bids were scored some time ago by the building committee, members of the building committee from the mayor's office, the city council, the community at large, and the school committee all scored those proposals, brought those final 4 in today, and ultimately awarded it to Shawmut Construction.
Shawmut Construction seems to be, by all accounts, doing an outstanding job at the Baldwin School amongst a turbulent environment. Was there any one design element that spoke to you? And much was made in the, if you will, the analysis portion of tonight's meeting with the community engagement, the community involvement in the design process. So maybe you could highlight that for just a couple minutes.
Yeah, I think, you heard all the firms speak of their desire to get the job and be part of the community and that builds this unified high school. Shawmut talked to us back in about this very thing when they interviewed for the CMAR services at Baldwin. So there's a little bit of history there. Shawmut's made they've really leaned into the community in and around Baldwin. And I think you heard from their presentation today, promises made, promises kept. They've lived up to that. And again, a project the size and scope of this building, these 4 firms that competed tonight, they are all best in class, certainly in New England, I would say across the country. So it becomes those differentiators and, is it community involvement? For some, you heard from some tonight, it was a lack of technology that was a concern. But I think Shawmut's done amazing work at Baldwin, and we're glad to have them as partners as we go through the Unified High School.
On a fun note, they spoke about incorporating home plate literally into the school as sort of a permanent memoir of the McCoy Stadium days. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to certainly honor the history of McCoy, right? Do I think that we should reconfigure a 500,000 square foot building to encompass home plate within the building itself? Maybe not. But, I think what that said to me was this firm, Shawmut, went out there and had some thoughtful ideas as to how to honor that legacy. I think you've heard from some of my colleagues that honoring that legacy is paramount, for a lot of reasons. But I don't know if we reconfigure the layout of the school to accommodate home plate.
Fair enough. Now, they're going forward, if I understand this correctly, it will be Shawmut with Jonathan Levy Architects. Is that the plan now for the next days?
Correct. So our team for the Unified High School is certainly, at the top of that team is the taxpayers of Pawtucket. All the elected officers of the school committee, the mayor's office, the council comes under the taxpayer. And then the team itself is really Collier's project leaders, Jonathan Levy, DLR, and Shawmut Construction working collaboratively.
And the key here is that all three of them, it was fascinating as something of an outsider to watch this, because it became very clear that in the construction and construction management process, that having Rhode Island connections had nothing to do with coffee milk or hot wieners or things like that. There's a real concern and a real element of management expertise in bringing together the resources that work in Rhode Island. Much was spoken with one of the vendors in terms of availability of staff and work. So all of that they've been able to do as a team. It seems like sort of an all-star setup.
Yeah, I mean, I think like any other successful organizations, we look to assemble the best team possible. We look at every project individually. We've done multiple projects throughout the city in school construction. We've utilized multiple different architects, multiple different contractors. We've had different construction management at risk at Baldwin than we did at Winters. So this committee really, prides itself, I think, on hiring the best talent and forming that best-in-class team to deliver projects like Henry Winters, like Potter Burns, like Nathaniel Green, like the soon-to-be Baldwin. And that's what we're doing here at the Unified High School.
With the Unified High School, you are now in the aggregate well north of $1 billion. Now let's think about that for a second in the city of Pawtucket for school construction. What does that say to the team here at the school committee?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, listen, it's a lot of money. It's the residents of Pawtucket know what this school committee has done. Beyond all the noise and all the distractions and all the deflections, the residents of the city. If you have a child in Pawtucket Public Schools, you know what this school committee's done. You know what we've done to increase the physical plants. You know what we've done to increase the safety inside the buildings and fire suppression and lighting and stairwells and you know how much of a emphasis we place on the student being at the center of every decision we make. So I'll let the voters and the taxpayers of Pawtucket decide how well the school committee's done, spending doing almost $1 billion worth of school construction. I don't know that it's that high, but it's getting up there.
It's getting close. And again, at that point, a few $100 million here or there.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Last question with just a couple of seconds on this. And again, if you're just joining us, Jay Charbonneau is the school committee chair for your City of Pawtucket School Committee. When do things kick off? When first stage is demolition?
Yeah, so we'll assemble the team. We'll have a whole team internal meeting. There's some demolition design work that has to go through. You can't just send the wrecking ball into McCoy, So that's going to be a process of designing it, of abating it, and doing everything correctly up front, so that when we do start to take it down, that it's as least disruptive to the community as possible, and certainly it's as safe as possible.
Fair enough. Again, congratulations on this next major step in progressing to a new and modern high school. Lots to talk about, but we'll catch up with you at the next meeting. Folks, we are the Coalition, loud and proud, civilly disobedient media joining us tonight, and we appreciate the time after a full and rewarding day. Jay Charbonneau, again, the school committee chairman for the city of Pawtucket. Have a wonderful evening.
Pat, thanks.